that far along with that. Right. So, memory for you.
Okay, this meeting of the board is now called to order. Please stand and join with us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting tonight, and we're going to start by approving our agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda as presented?
Nothing for me.
Okay, then, is there a motion, please, on page 2?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion that the Board of Education approve the agenda as printed.
Thank you, Keith. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Emily. All those in favor of approving the agenda as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. The agenda is approved. And we'll start again with the superintendent's report.
Well, thank you, Randy. And we only have one item on there for the report, and that's the bond project update that Johnny Edwards will provide.
All right. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent P. Lang. Before we get into the actual construction side of it, I just wanted to pause and provide some photo images of some of our summer work that was done. We want to just lift up a lot of work that was done in a short period of time. At 12th Street, you could see the shingles there on top of the roof looks to be buckled, and this has caused us to have leaks from time to time with the roof, so we were able to get in this summer, replace the roof, so that project is done and completed. Over at Lake Center, we don't have a before image, but we refinished the gym floor, and what you do is actually strip it down and take off all of the paint and refinish it and put down new lines. The new lines that we've put in Lake Center and 12th Street matches how the lines and the designs will work for the new elementary schools as well. So Four Corners was one of the requests from our PE teachers. Also at Lake Center, this was our digital sign when the school completed, and now we have a new digital sign there, which now is nice and bright LED. It's the latest version of the LED signage that both of our high school campuses have. Went over to Morris Bridge. We did some hardware changes to the entrance. We put in a new secure vestibule. If you've gone into Morris Bridge in the past, where that middle beam is, there was another set of doors. So we took those doors out completely, and so now that space is much larger. We put in a new walk-off carpet there, and the principal joked that he can make that a classroom now. He has so much space. Over at North Middle School, this was our outdoor basketball court. You can see in the corner is a water fountain that was not in use either. And this is the demolition of the court. The water fountain is gone. This is the new court now, a fresh top of asphalt and painted lines, as well as new basketball hoops. No cracks anymore. Also at North Middle School, in terms of cracks, the flooring. We had some challenges with the installation failure after the construction of the school. And so we work with the contractors in OAK, along with our food service staff, and so we replaced that with new flooring. We tried to keep the finish relatively the same, but the staff definitely noticed the difference and appreciated that work. Going over to West Middle School, also in terms of security, we wanted to mimic some of the secure vestibule features that are in the new middle schools. And so you'll see to the right, that area was wide open, and now we enclose that with corridor doors. To the left is one portion of a library door as well. And these are other hallway, art room, STEAM area, where we put in more corridors for safety. Also at West Middle School, the board approved with Susan a kitchen servery refresh, and this is what the area looked like beforehand. during demolition, and now they have an open concept. I think Dr. Pasco and I were meeting with Principal Messenger, and he said they served lunch so quickly on the first couple of days of school, the kids were able to go back and get that. So he was raised with the new concept of the open kitchen service. We still have some more equipment that's coming though, but essentially the kitchen is fully functional, and staff and students are really happy with it. Going over to Central High School, we had some challenges with signage over time, kept falling off, and so we were able to put up new signage throughout the entire building at Central High School. Also, as the board may recall, you had to use another entrance prior to the summer work, and again, with the security grants, we were able to put in a secure vestibule here at Central High School. So now it's a more secure entryway for students and staff as they enter the building. This is a look from the inside. Again, new walk-off carpet. At both Central and Northern High School, we put in a new clock, bell, and PA system for both high schools. The technology was outdated, so that received a refresh this summer. 12th Street and Lake Center will get a similar refresh later in the school year. And then going over to Northern High School, again, interior signage was a challenge there. You can see some blue tape holding it up there. And so afterwards, we have new signage for our classrooms there. Then finally, related to secure vestibule, this is on the northern side of the school where the students enter into the commons each day. And we were able to expand their area and create a secure vestibule for them. So a lot of projects and a lot of work done over the summer. We were thankful we were able to use a combination of some building and site sinking fund dollars along with some safety and security grant dollars from the state to help pay for these projects. Then lastly, the doghouse flooring, essentially similar to Lake Center. We stripped the floor this summer in its entirety, put down new lines, and so it has a nice shine to it. And anytime you do those projects, it feels like it's a brand new floor. It's the same floor, but it is totally refinished. Also, what's not shown there is we refreshed the entrance to the doghouse, so it's new walk-off carpet. We painted in there as well, so now the space actually feels like it's new, even though it's not. So that's the conclusion of our summer projects. Any questions about summer projects before I go to construction?
The secure vestibules, if that's how you say it, are those off like at a certain time because we were able to walk?
Yeah,
So what's the timing on those?
Yeah, they will be secured during the school day.
Just during the school day?
During the school.
Okay.
Johnny, thanks for showing us all that. Those photos are great. We know about those projects, but it'd take a long time to go walk around and see them all, so.
That's correct.
Thank you, thank you. That's great. What a busy summer.
Busy summer, busy summer. Hats off to our entire team as well.
Yeah.
For working with contractors and still being able to get the cleaning and things done that we needed for the first day of school. And then just moving over to our construction update. The upper portion of over Central Elementary School, the upper portion of the exterior continues to have more brick installed, particularly on the northern side of the building. That upper portion of the school will mostly be blue, so you can start to see the blue brick being installed. Also on the outside of the school, the contractors are working on the generator and the transformer pad, along with some underground conduits. Over on the inside of the school at Central L, they started to drywall hanging and finishing continues. MEP roughings also continues on the second floor. And now to pour concrete over that. Next week, we'll start the window framing. So our goal is to ideally have the building mostly enclosed before the winter conditions. Moving over to Haverhill, MEP rough-ins and framings are ongoing on the first floor. The gathering stair will be done this week. Framing and reference continue on the second floor. We're building our walls in our kitchen area. The roof is near completion. We expect the roof to be completed in the next 2 weeks. And then on the exterior, if you drive past, you'll see a lot of the brick has come into play over at Haverhill as well. Over at Woodland, we held a 3D virtual walkthrough of Woodland with the new principal, Jen Carson. She was amazed and excited to see her first glimpse of the new school. This Friday will be our first of 2 construction documents meeting. This is where our contractors start to write the blueprints for, our architects write the blueprints for our future contractors. And then also at Woodland, just a reminder, we're having a community gallery walk to show the latest renderings of the new school. And that's scheduled for Tuesday, October 15th at 5 p.m. And then lastly, we have an RFP out on the streets now, available for both Central and Woodland for their demolition package. Both schools will be demoed in summer of 2025, but we have the RFP out now. We had a great showing at a pre-bid walkthrough last week. All bids are due October 1st, and we plan to bring a recommendation to the board in our October board meeting. That concludes my construction update, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Very complete, thank you.
Johnny, could I jump back on the summer projects?
Yes.
Is it safe to say that most of those projects were funded from building and site sinking funds?
The secure vestibule, I would probably say more was paid out of our safety and security dollars. More came from that. But like our roof project came from our building site and sinking fund. The flooring at our middle school kitchen came from building and site sinking fund. What else did we use for building and site sinking fund off the top of my head?
The refinishing.
Yeah, the refinishing of the floors, we're building and site sinking fund. But more of the security stuff was and those were a little more expensive. Those came from our safety and security dollars.
And so the safety and security stuff, I think, speaks for itself. And then just to underscore the building and site sinking fund, that's a locally approved millage that funds those.
We are tremendously fortunate to be able to provide those repairs and upgrades out of our building and site sinking fund dollars. It allows us to preserve dollars from our general fund as well as our bond as well.
Thanks, Johnny. Great report. Great stuff. Thank you.
The only other thing I'd mention is just a reminder that in October, we only have one board meeting. We consolidated the 2 into 1. That'll be on October 14th. And then you also got notice on the KCSOA, Kalamazoo County School Officials Association, School Officers. That meeting is on October 16th. It's a Wednesday. I think there may be some confusion because I had October 9th on my calendar originally, but I think that date may have gotten changed to the following week. So we'll double check that one and get information to you. And if you're going to attend, please let Barb know. And it'll be at the Fetzer Center on Western's campus.
And that KCOA meeting will be pretty interesting, and we have a speaker on artificial intelligence. So that's something that's new to a number of people, and should be an interesting meeting. So, thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at our comments and communications section. Are there any citizens who wish to address the board this evening? Okay, thank you. We'll have our secretary read our guidelines for public comment, please. Thanks, Terry.
Public comment at board meetings. Board of Education meetings are held for the purpose of conducting the business of the school district. The board recognizes the importance of letting the public express themselves on district matters and welcomes community input at our board meetings. To permit fair and orderly public expression, please conform to these guidelines when addressing the board. Attendees must register their intention to speak during the public participation portion of the meeting by completing the speaker registration form at the beginning of the meeting. Individuals may not register others to speak. Speakers will be recognized by the presiding officer and may not be called in the order in which they have signed up to speak. Speakers are requested to state their name, address, and group affiliation if applicable. Limit comments to 3 minutes. Direct all comments to the board and not to staff or to other participants. Speakers may not yield any of their speaking time to others. Provide a written copy of your comments and supporting documentation to the board secretary if available. Present your comments in a respectful and courteous manner to model the behavior expected of Portage students. Refrain from mentioning any student or individual by name. Contact the superintendent directly regarding personnel matters. The board has a legal obligation to protect the due process rights of students and employees. Typically, concerns raised by speakers during public comment are best addressed through the established chain of command. Board policy delegates resolution of operational concerns to the superintendent for further action.
Thank you, Terry. We welcome our first speaker tonight, Cindy Lilly, please.
Hello, my name is Cindy. I live on Monticello, right behind the new Portage Middle School. We had this storm on June 16th, and one of the trees on the side of the fence fell over into our yard. On the 17th, I notified someone at the school that the tree did fall into our yard and that the fence is broken. And I was informed, and I told her I have 2 dogs. That's why we need the fence up. I don't want my dogs to get out and go to the schoolyard. And she informed me, basically, don't worry about it. There's no kids at the schoolyard. It's my problem. I'm like, okay. So I just gave it a while. On July 7th, I called back, left her a message. She did not call me back. I tried to get a hold of the superintendent. I emailed and I called. My email and my phone message got directed back to the same person that I talked to on June 17th. She said that, that they did go ahead and they approved to get the fence fixed, but they didn't know when they would have to get the materials. That same day, my husband actually physically came down here and talked to that same lady in person, and she gave my husband her card and said, talk to my husband. He's the head of all that. But please give him 2 weeks because they are short of staff. So we gave him until the 14th of August. We called him. No, he did not call us back. We called his boss on the 22nd of August. That evening, the original person we called, he did call us back and said that they will start cleaning up the mess, because I don't know if you guys are familiar from when there was no school there. There was a beautiful yard out there. There was no weeds, no nothing. Now the weeds are this tall going up by the fence line. We have rodents now and everything else. He said that he's going to clean all that up, get rid of the tree, and we're like, well, half the tree is still there that fell, and he says we're going to get rid of it all. We have to get rid of half of the trees so that they can replace the fence. So they finally fixed the fence on the 28th of August, but in between we were trying to get a hold of him, and he basically told us flat out blank that it's not your guys' problem. It's not our problem, it's their problem because it's their side of the fence, and if we didn't like what he said, to go talk to the middle school principal. So we went the other day and talked to the middle school principal, and that's how we ended up here. All we're asking is the fence to be fixed correctly. They did fix it, but not very good. It is Mickey Mouse together. Basically, they took the fence, it's like a 12-foot fence, they actually stretched it and hooked it, and all the hooks are now falling off. I have all kinds of pictures if you care to see it, and the tree that they said they were going to take down, they didn't take down, they left all the wood there. It looks terrible for that nice school to be there, and now it just looks horrible. So we're just asking for the fence to be fixed correctly.
Cindy, thank you very much for coming tonight, sharing this issue with us, and someone for administration will be in touch with you about the situation. I have your address here, but I don't have your contact information, your phone number. Can I have that here?
Definitely.
And
I'm just
it
saying.
Sounds like people have already have your number, but I'd really like to have it here.
Apparently not the right people.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you for coming. Our next speaker tonight is Reed Williams from Now Kalamazoo. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Reed Williams. I am Civic and Audience Engagement Editor at Now Kalamazoo. I'm also the editor for the election team at Now Kalamazoo. If you aren't familiar with Now Kalamazoo, I'd like to fix that. We are a nonprofit, nonpartisan community news organization. Our mission is to improve the information ecosystem in Kalamazoo County, revitalize it, and we do that through journalism, storytelling, and civic information. And as part of that, the reason I'm here tonight is we've brought a few people as part of what we call town hall field trips. So we're trying to sort of break down the barriers of uncertainties, in some cases even a little bit of anxiety or intimidation about coming to public meetings. So last week we took a group of people to the Board of County Commissioners meeting. This week it's Portage School Board, and we'll most likely do more of these meetings in the future, introducing voters and citizens to the other public bodies. Just wanted to say hi and let you know why there are so many people wearing these maroon t-shirts in the audience tonight. Also, if you aren't a subscriber to Now Kalamazoo's email newsletter, I'd encourage you to do that. And we'd also like to extend an invitation to all of you on October 8th, which is a Tuesday. We'll be hosting a voters forum, and that's going to be at Kalamazoo Nonprofit Advocacy Coalition, also known as KNAC, in the Old First Baptist Church in downtown Kalamazoo. It'll be in the Crawl Space Theater there. It's going to be a night for voters to get together, talk about their hopes and concerns for the election, the outcomes that they want to see elected officials work on, and from that we're going to produce a citizens agenda that we'll end up publishing and distributing to all the folks who take office after this year's election. So we'd love to see you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Reed. We appreciate you and your group coming to our meeting tonight, and know that you're always welcome here. Thank you very much. Our next speaker tonight is Mark Stevenson.
Hi, my name is Mark Stevenson, 7404 Mackenzie Lane, Portage, Michigan, 49024. I just want to take a quick moment to introduce myself. I am running for the school board this election. I am from Portage. I was born and raised. I went to Portage Northern High School. When I went to Ann Arbor at school, I met my wife, and she is also from Portage. She went to Portage Central. So when we decided to come back, or where to live, we wanted to come back to Portage because the main reason was the education. It was excellent. We had great opportunities here, and we wanted that for our children. So now we have 3 boys, a 1st grader, a 4th grader, and a 7th grader in the district. So we care, we're invested. This is our home, this is our school, our family's here. So what we want is, I'd like, if I'm elected, to work with all of you on the board to continue creating the opportunities for not only my boys, but all the students in Portage, and doing that by working with our teachers, our administration, and the parents, listening to their needs to keep Portage being great and our home. So thank you for the time, and I look forward to hopefully working with you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you coming tonight. Our last speaker this evening is Mary Lou Rohr.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Rohr. I live at 6024 Texas Drive in Texas Township. I want to thank you, President Van Antwerp, for allowing us to come tonight, and Superintendent Beeling, and just introduce ourselves. I believe children are our future, and every child deserves a quality education. So I'd just like to take a few minutes and share my background because it's relevant to what brings me here with you guys tonight. I have a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Michigan State. I subsequently went to General Motors in Flint and worked there for several years. And then I put a pause on my career when our first child was born. Eventually, my husband and I moved to this side of the state and relocated to the Kalamazoo area. We bought a home in Texas Township, and our son started 1st grade at Angling Road Elementary. I was fortunate over those years to have lots of opportunities to get to know the community through volunteer work and the school district. And naturally, most of my time was spent in the schools. At the elementary level, I was a room parent and a PTO parent. At the middle school, we coached How to See the Mind. And when the kids ended up in high school, I was a band booster parent and a choir parent and a drama parent. So over that span of 14 years, I became inspired by the faculty, by the staff, by our school community, that when I was looking at going back to work, I decided to become a teacher, something I never expected. So I went to Western, did more math classes, more physics classes, got a teaching certificate to teach secondary ed, mathematics and physics. I had a great 12-year teaching career, both in Kalamazoo Public Schools and in Portage, and I retired in 2019. So I tell you all that because those experiences, I feel, help me understand some of the complex challenges that we face in our schools today. I'm really excited about the possible opportunity to work with the board and develop some creative solutions to the challenges that we have. I don't need to tell anyone here that Portage has a legacy of high-quality educational opportunities for all children. And I want to be a part of the team that builds on that and continues to strengthen our schools and our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary Lou. We appreciate you coming this evening. Thank you. Okay, are there any comments tonight from board trustees?
Congratulations, sorry. Congratulations to all the schools that participated in the PC Band Invitational. The music played most of the day, was heard by many neighborhoods over, I was told, and was excellent. Was very much enjoyed by those who were listening, who stopped me and commented how much they had enjoyed it. So well done to all the schools that attended, and also, of course, ours.
Thank you, Kimberly.
We had a good visit at 12th Street this morning with Mr. Blasingame. Heard a lot of great stuff about what's going on there. We got to walk around the building and see him in action, see teachers in action, and see what a great facility 12th Street is too. So it was a very worthwhile hour or so of our time.
Terry?
Randy, a couple things. Thanks to our Now Kalamazoo people for being here tonight. So our meetings kind of, right, this is my opinion, our meetings kind of shake out and we have two different types of meetings. And this falls into the kind of quick, perfunctory kind of meeting. And I don't want you to leave with a sense that this is normal for us. I mean, but some of these are like that. But then the other meetings that are kind of more action-oriented start next month, and we start reviewing student test scores and data and kind of our expectations and tracking how the district's doing. So we get heavy into that in October, November, December, and then a little bit in the winter and spring on some other kind of academic measures. So anyway, this is kind of a sleepy meeting. Right, they're more interesting in some other months. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that for some reason I have been knocking on doors in this community for the last month or so. And one really neat thing that happens is people answer those doors and they tell you stories. And so a gentleman last week who answered the door is the community volunteer, and he would not want his name mentioned, but he's the community volunteer that organizes the robotics club at North Middle School. And so he told me all about that and how it's expanded now to Northern High, and they've recruited more kids into it, and there's a wait list now. And so it's just, you run into people who are members of the community who are just giving to the schools, and there are neat things like that going on. So it was fun to run into him and learn more about that.
The Robotics Club is an amazing opportunity. If you talk to the parents who are involved, it is absolutely incredible. It starts at such a young age. So it's fun to watch them too.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, the only thing I have, I just wanted to mention, I'm going to attend the Region 6 Legislative Priority Meeting tomorrow night at Okay, Risa, and if anything interesting develops out of that, I will let you know. Okay, that concludes our comments and communications section. We'll now move to consent agenda. We only have one thing on the consent agenda, that's the minutes from the Committee of the Whole work session from September 9th, 2024. Are there any exceptions to the consent agenda as presented? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. And we'll move to our first action item, which is the National School Lunch Week proclamation on page 9. There's a motion, please.
Mr. President, Van Antwerpen, I move that the Board of Education approve the National School Lunch Week proclamation as presented.
Thank you, Keith. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kimberly. Would someone like to read the motion, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, proclamation, National School Lunch Week, October 14th through 18th, 2024. Whereas it is with great respect for the accomplishments of Portage Schools food service leads, servers, cashiers, and driver personnel and substitutes that we commemorate October 14th through 18th, 2024 as National School Lunch Week. During this special observance, we encourage all citizens to recognize the dedication and skill of our school food service employees, and whereas each day food service employees prepare and serve thousands of lunches. This is in addition to ordering, storing, and expediting each menu item to each location, adhering to food safety, sanitation, and nutritional guidelines, as well as giving each customer the time and consideration to listen, hear, and deliver what they are looking for each day. Fortunately, we have exemplary professionals who have devoted their careers to providing high-quality service to our children and staff. And whereas on behalf of our students and staff, it is a pleasure to commend the women and men who accept and meet the challenges of school food service. The observance of School Food Lunch Week is a welcome opportunity to thank these patient, caring, skilled public servants. Those involved in this pursuit should be very proud of their contribution to education. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Education that we proudly commemorate October 14th through 18th, 2024 as National School Lunch Week, and we commend everyone who has contributed to the successful operation of our lunch program. By working together, we can make a difference in every student's life. Proclaimed this 23rd day of September 2024, Portage Public Schools Board of Education.
Thank you, Emily. And thank you, Susan, for all the good work that you and your staff do. There she is, right over there. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. All those in favor of approving the National School Lunch Week proclamation, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes and the proclamation is approved. Our next action item is the School Bus Safety Week proclamation. There's a motion, please, on page 11.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the School Bus Safety Week proclamation as presented.
Thank you, Bo. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Emily. Who would like to volunteer to read the proclamation, Bo?
Randy, my next-door neighbor, is a Portage school bus driver, so I would like to read this one.
You should. Thank you.
Proclamation, School Bus Safety Week, October 21 through 25, 2024. Whereas it is with great respect for the accomplishments of Portage's professional school bus drivers, mechanics, office staff, and manager that we commemorate October 21 through 25, 2024 as School Bus Safety Week. During this special observance, we encourage all citizens to recognize the dedication and skill of school transportation employees. And whereas coordinating with the countless routes, driving so many miles, and supervising the dozens of students on each vehicle requires an outstanding effort. Fortunately, we have exemplary professionals who devoted their careers to transporting our children safely. And whereas our fleet and staff have a proud tradition of excellence during annual safety inspections by the Michigan State Police motor carrier inspectors. And whereas on behalf of our young people, it is a pleasure to commend the women and men who accept and meet the challenge of school transportation. The observance of School Bus Safety Week is a welcome opportunity to thank these patient, skilled, and caring public servants. Those involved in this pursuit should be very proud of their contribution to education. And whereas this special week serves as a fitting time to urge all drivers to become more aware of school bus safety regulations. Serious injuries and deaths occur when motorists fail to stop for school buses. Now that the school year has begun, we remind drivers to be cautious and attentive around school buses. It's also an appropriate time to ask students to listen to their bus drivers and pay close attention to bus safety rules. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Education that we proudly commemorate October 21 through 25, 2024 as School Bus Safety Week, and we commend everyone who's contributed to the successful operation of our school buses. We also encourage all citizens to drive carefully and to be alert around school buses. I By working together, we can make this the safest school year ever. Proclaim this 23rd day of September 2024, Portage Public Schools Board of Education.
Thank you, Bo. We appreciate all the work of our bus drivers, and kudos to our transportation manager, Jody Stoner. And at our last meeting, we received a monitoring report, and that indicated that 100% of our buses were rated green tag in their latest inspection, and that's a real achievement, and it goes a long way to keeping our students safe. So thank you to all our transportation workers. And all those in favor of the School Bus Week Safety Week proclamation, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Our next action item is the Red Ribbon Week proclamation. There's a motion, please, on page 13.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Education approve the Red Ribbon Week proclamation as presented.
Thank you, Ian. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Terry. Who would like to read? You want me to do it?
This is the toughest one.
It is.
Right, to avoid the Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm up for it. All right, proclamation, Red Ribbon Week, October 23 through 31, 2024. Whereas tobacco, alcohol, prescription drug abuse, and other drug usage among young people is a serious concern. And whereas it is imperative that a visible and unified effort of education and prevention be continued to reduce the demand for drugs. And whereas children of parents who talk to their teens about drugs are less likely to use drugs than those who don't. And whereas the National Red Ribbon Campaign will be celebrated in communities throughout America during Red Ribbon Week, October 23 through 31, 2024. And whereas business, government, law enforcement, schools, religious institutions, service organizations, youth, physicians, senior citizens, the military, sports teams, and individuals will demonstrate their commitment to a drug-free, healthy lifestyle by wearing and displaying red ribbons during this week-long campaign. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Portage Public Schools does hereby proclaim October 23 through 31, 2024 as Red Ribbon Week, and encourage Portage citizens to participate in drug prevention education activities, showing our commitment to a drug-free community through education about the dangers of drug abuse and by setting a good example. Proclaimed this 23rd day of September 2024, Portage Public Schools Board of Education.
Well done.
Thank you very much. I'm proud of that. Yes, this is a great reminder. All those in favor of approving the Red Ribbon Week proclamation, please say aye. Aye. The Red Ribbon Week proclamation is approved. Thank you. Our last item is the National Principals Month proclamation. There's a motion, please, on page 15.
President Van Antwerp, I move that the Board of Education approve the National Principals Month proclamation as presented.
Thank you, Terry. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kimberly. Who would like to volunteer to read the proclamation for the principals?
Proclamation Principals Month, October 2024. Whereas energetic and inspiring school leadership is essential to Michigan schools in order to prepare students for success, both during their pre-K through 12 years and beyond. And whereas principals are entrusted with the educational development of young people and serve as educational visionaries, instructional leaders, assessment experts, community builders, facility managers, special programs administrators, and guardians of various legal, contractual, and policy mandates and initiatives. And whereas principals set the academic tone for their schools and work collaboratively with teachers and parents to develop and implement a clear mission, high curriculum standards, and performance goals. And whereas principals play a vital role in the success of students by creating school environments that facilitate great teaching and learning, as well as continuous school improvement. And whereas much of the success of pre-K through 12 students can be attributed to principals who act as the liaison between the school and the community it serves, ensuring that parents and the community are aware of student and school achievements. And whereas the celebration of Principals Month honors elementary, middle, and high school principals and recognizes the importance of school leadership in ensuring every child has access to a high-quality education. And whereas during this month, we join educators, parents, and students throughout Michigan to raise awareness of the importance of educational leadership and to recognize and thank the hardworking principals in Michigan schools who set exemplary standards of service. Now therefore, the Board of Education of Portage Public Schools hereby proclaims October 2024 as Principals Month in the Portage Public School District. Proclaimed this 23rd day of September 2024, Portage Public Schools Board of Education.
Thank you, Terry. We definitely appreciate all the important work that our principals do. All those in favor of approving the National Principals Month proclamation, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes and the National Principals Month proclamation is approved. Our last agenda item tonight is a discussion item, which is revision to policy 511.01. Mark?
Sure. This is a minor change to an existing policy that we have. It was prompted by a situation that we encountered this fall with a unaccompanied minor who was living with a caregiver, but whose family was still in the area, but not providing any kind of assistance for this person. And so this is something that's allowed by law. We just wanted to capture it in policy in case we ever encountered it again. We did run it by legal, and the language is acceptable, so that we're recommending that one minor change to help clarify the situation that we're getting into. Any questions? I'd be happy to answer.
Questions for me?
So this is not Neola driven, it's just driven by a circumstance we had here.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, most of the policies we recommend, recommendations we get are through our policy provider Neola, but in this case, it's there's language in other districts' policies that's similar to this, so we modeled that after what we saw in other districts as well.
Anyone have any questions with this?
Having
Appears
worked
to
with
be
a
the-
number of different enrollment situations with children, I can understand where you're coming from. And
Yeah, it's amazing what, many of our students are, the circumstances that they come to us to school under, and it just seems to be getting more complicated every year.
yes, it is.
That's definitely the right thing to do. Is there agreement that we could pass this now?
I would say so.
We just need a motion, Master.
Oh, no. Mr. President, I move that we move the operational policy 5111.01 amendment to an action item.
Second.
That.
Thank you. All those in favor of moving this item to an action item, please say aye.
Aye.
And now,
And now.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt the proposed amendment to operational policy 5111.01 as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving changes to this policy, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. The changes to the policy are approved. We've reached the end of our agenda. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we are adjourned.
Good job, Bo.
I was gonna definitely read the Red Ribbon one. You went, I was so close. I was so close.
You're up next time.
Next time. You're figuring it out.